Okay. Good evening, Sangha. Great to be here. I'm actually light. A lot of times when I come from work, it's really wild. But I didn't have my 4 o'clock group today because we have fewer males. We're getting some more over the next few weeks. So we dropped that group. So it was nice to be able to have a little time to do that. That's just a quick check-in for me. I realize this will be the last time I talk about forgiveness in this series for a little while. And what I could never get past is that whole world wrapped around me when I was a child. For a long time, they had Bradshaw. Those of you guys who know Bradshaw, I think there's very few people who don't know Bradshaw. But he talked about the inner child. And the inner child is not a real person. But when I went to Thich Nhat Hanh and started reading and thinking about it, Thich Nhat Hanh says it's all these things in our store consciousness that are left over from childhood. So I've spent much of my life, and I can honestly say, man, this is some stuff I've seen some big healing over time. Of course, I'm 57, so hopefully I have some big healing from this, because I did take a look at it. And when I first heard the inner child stuff, my macho guy says, this is a bunch of baloney. Take the inner child out and you beat it, and he'll start doing well. Just bam it, you know. And seriously, I really did say that, and I've said it. That was my opinion. But Thich Nhat Hanh goes, in our store consciousness, there's all these things that we think and feel and believe that are residue from when I was a child, when I was 2, when I was 5, when I was 9. And Thich Nhat Hanh treated it very seriously. He thought it was a very real thing that we needed to be with and sit with and work with. And even to the point of visualizing the inner child as myself as an actual child, Thich Nhat Hanh actually recommends that we have a picture on our altar of ourselves as a child. That honestly, look, it's for real. So I find that to be delightful. And I do have that. When I see the things in my life that I struggle with, so much of it goes back to what I learned as a child: the bullying, the abuse, the frustration of not being able to make things good in the world or in my world. And I just internalized them and just made them reality. They were things I thought were absolutely true, right? I can't stand up for myself because I'll just get kicked down was one of them that I held to forever. So people could just stack work on me and I would just do my best to get it together. To the point where I think I was a bad employee, but I wasn't. I was just an employee with too much stacked onto me. They stacked it on until I was a bad employee, and then I just did this juggling act. And now something happens. I start saying things like, okay, you have a choice. Either I can fulfill this contract's work over here, or I can do these projects over here. I don't have enough time for both. And I can say it with that tone of voice, with that confidence and firmness, and not be angry or disrespectful about it. I can just say, these are the choices. And if you want to look at the hours, we'll go over the hours, and I'm not lying to you about what I do with my time. There's just no room for both things. And that's something I never would have been able to do. But finally in my 50s, I can say that, and it's a huge relief. It may not always be a relief for my employer, but it's a big relief for me. And I can stand up for myself in relationships and in jobs and in my community. I can admit I'm wrong. I started doing that in my 40s. For a long time, I couldn't admit I was wrong. If I was wrong, then people would see me as defective So I just stayed. I have to be right. Otherwise, I'm just defective. And it was all in my store consciousness. All these beliefs were things I learned and were taught as a child. I could even see myself where my self-hatred came from, that it was conceited to love myself. Because I was having a conversation with my mom, of course, and she said, well, you must love yourself. Goes, why would you want to do that? Because that is conceited to love yourself. And then, of course, I chastised her. Because that was my relationship with my mom. That's wrong. You should know better. You haven't heard all the stuff. But I could see I learned that, she learned that, all these things that are in our consciousness. And then recognizing how old some of them are. Because what did I look like before I was born? What did I look like before my parents were born? All those seeds were moving around. All those things that would become me were coming together, right? But in recovery, I'll say in recovery and in Buddhism, we don't have to live by those rules anymore. We have other options through a lot of practice and a lot of inquiry to change our lives over time and let our seed consciousness change over time, to where there's more smiles and flowers. Since we're talking Thich Nhat Hanh, let's go with flowers and smiles, because he liked flowers and smiles. Smiles are big. So I found the forgiveness meditation was here, but I'm going to change it a little today. And I'm going to include a gatha written by Thich Nhat Hanh about the inner child as part of our forgiveness meditation. What's funny is I printed out a forgiveness meditation. It came from the Dharma Recovery book, so I could have just used the book the whole time instead of making sure I always had that. I just find that interesting. So, find a comfortable but alert position in which to sit or lie down. As you allow your eyes to gently close, pay attention to the body and see if there are any minor adjustments that will help you maintain the position for the duration of the meditation. Rest your hands comfortably on your legs or in your lap or to your side if you've chosen to lie down. We'll start with a few minutes of concentration practice, just to help our minds settle and arrive in our present time experience. Allow your breathing to be natural, seeing where in the body you can feel the breath most naturally. It may be in the stomach or abdomen, where you can feel the rising and falling as the body breathes. It might be in the chest, where you may notice the expansion and contraction as the body inhales and exhales. Perhaps it's at the nostrils, where you can feel a slight tickle as the air comes in, and the subtle warmth as the body exhales. Breathing in, just bring a gentle awareness to the breath. Breathing out, be aware of the breath leaving the body. You may notice the mind wandering. This offers us an opportunity to cultivate mindfulness and concentration. Each time we notice the mind wandering, we're strengthening our ability to recognize our present experience. Each time we bring the mind back to the breath, we strengthen our ability to concentrate. Treat it as an opportunity rather than as a problem. Now begin offering forgiveness to yourself. We start with forgiveness for ourselves because it's almost impossible to truly forgive others while we still harbor self-resentment. There are many ways that we have hurt and harmed ourselves. We have betrayed or abandoned ourselves many times through thoughts, words, or actions, knowingly or unknowingly. Feeling your own precious body and life as you are today, let yourself become aware of the ways you have hurt or harmed yourself. Picture them, remember them, be open to the sorrow you have carried from this, and give yourself permission to release these burdens. Breathing gently, repeat silently to yourself the following phrases. I forgive myself for the ways I've hurt myself through action or inaction. I know I have acted out of fear, pain, and confusion, and for today, I offer myself forgiveness. I forgive myself. Repeat these phrases, letting the feelings permeate your body and mind. Feelings contrary to forgiveness, like irritation, guilt, and anger, may come up for you. If this happens, be patient and kind toward yourself, allowing whatever arises to be received in a spirit of friendliness and kind affection, and simply return to the phrases. I want you to inhabit that space that you'd had as a child. Focus on a favorite possession or a toy you'd had as a child. You may be 2 years old or 5 years old or 7. Any age will work. Maybe the toy was a bicycle that you pedaled gleefully just down the street, feeling the air in your hair against your skin, going in faster and faster, filling your lungs with air. Maybe it was a stuffed animal that you used for company when you were by yourself, that you trusted and it gave you comfort. Maybe you slept with it or took it around the house, or it could be a blanket. Any toy, any item that gave you joy and comfort. Just focus on the item. Now see yourself with this item, holding it. What are you thinking at this time? What are you feeling? What do you believe about the world? Step into yourself as a child and look at the world around you. What's that world look like, feel like, smell like? Take a deep breath in and know with this deep breath comes safety. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. I bring my kind attention to the in-breath. I bring my kind attention to the out-breath. Breathing in, I'm aware of my whole body, right here. Breathing out, I'm aware of my whole body, right here. Aware of the body, here and now. Breathing in, I see myself as a 5-year-old child, fragile and vulnerable. Breathing out, I smile to myself as a 5-year-old child. I forgive myself for the ways I have hurt myself through action or inaction. I know I have acted out of fear, pain, and confusion. And for today, I offer myself forgiveness. I forgive myself. I remember the ways you have hurt or harmed me out of your own fear, pain, confusion, and anger. I've carried this pain in my heart too long. At least for today, I offer you forgiveness. To all those who have caused me harm, I offer my forgiveness. I forgive you. See yourself as a child once more. You may visualize yourself with the item you chose to focus on. Know that you are solely responsible for this child's well-being. That you have everything you need to take care of this child. And this child is in good hands. Be there with yourself. Be there for yourself. Come back to your body right now. Feel your in-breath and out-breath. Feel where your body's in contact with the floor or chair. And when you feel comfortable, open your eyes. Namaste. May all places be held sacred. May all beings be cherished. May all injustices of oppression and devaluation be fully righted, remedied, and healed. May all who are captured by hatred be freed to the love that is our birthright. May all who are bound by fear discover the safety of understanding. May all who are weighed down by grief be given over to the joy of being. May all who are lost in delusion find a home on the path of wisdom. May all wounds to forest, rivers, deserts, oceans, all wounds to Mother Earth be lovingly restored to bountiful health. May all beings everywhere delight in whale song, bird song, and blue sky. May all beings abide in peace and well-being, awaken and be free. Namaste.